Hello, my dear students. This is Mr. Shaima Gharib, and today's lesson about reflex angle, how to calculate the reflex angle, and how to measure and how to draw. Let's start by revising some rules before you watch any video. First, you have to sit in a quiet place. You should have your pen and a piece of paper to take notes and to solve the questions. You should pause the video after each question, then you try to answer on your own. Then you play the video to check your answer and to understand the question in case you get a wrong answer. Are you ready? Let's start. First, let's revise types of angles to remember and to refresh our mind before our lesson. We have the acute angle and right angle, obtuse angle, straight angle, and reflex angle. For the acute angle, its size is greater than 0 and smaller than 90 degrees. For the right angle, it is exactly 90 degrees. And the obtuse angle is greater than 90 degrees and smaller than 180 degrees. And the straight angle exactly 180 degrees. And for the reflex angle, its size is greater than 180 and smaller than 360. And this will be our lesson today. This is how it looks like. Now let's see. As we said, the reflex angle is greater than 180 degrees and smaller than 360 degrees. Any reflex angle has an opposite angle, which is acute, obtuse, or right. Let's see how. Look at this reflex angle. It has an opposite angle, this one here, which is an acute angle. Let's see another one. Look at this reflex angle. It has an opposite angle, which is an obtuse angle. And look at this one. This is a reflex angle here. Here it is. And it has an opposite angle, which is a right angle. The angles around the point, as we said before, they total 360 degrees, same size as a full turn, if you remember. And same for the reflex angle and its opposite angle. The total size of the reflex angle and its opposite angle is 360 degrees. This is an example. This is a reflex angle here, and its opposite angle is obtuse angle. Both of them together, they form angles around the point, or they form a full turn, which is 360 degrees. So both of them must add up to 360 degrees. And this is how we are going to calculate the size of a reflex angle. Look at this example. First, as we said, subtract the size of the opposite angle, whatever its type, acute, obtuse, or right, from the 360 degrees. If I want to calculate the size of the reflex angle A, which is this angle, and I know the size of its opposite, here the opposite angle is 47. So what I'm going to do is I will subtract the size of the opposite angle from the 360 degrees. So 360 minus 47 equals 313 degrees. So the size of the reflex angle A here is 313 degrees. Now look at the reflex angle B. If I want to calculate its size, I'm going to subtract the size of the opposite angle from the 360 degrees. So 360 minus 169 equals 191 degrees. Then angle B, the reflex angle B, equals 191 degrees. Now look at this example. Think of it and try to find the size of the reflex angle A. So we are going to do exactly the same. Subtract the 77 from the 360. This is the opposite angle, and this is the reflex angle A. So when we subtract, we will get 283, the size of the reflex angle A, is 383. Now look at the second example. We have a reflex angle B. Here it is. And the opposite angle is 164. So to calculate the size of the reflex angle B, I'm going to subtract the 164 from 360, which is 196. Then the size of the reflex angle B is 196 degrees. Now, let's calculate the size of the reflex angle A. Do I know the size of the opposite? Of course, it is a right angle, which is 90 degrees. So when I subtract the 90 degrees from the 360, I will get 270 degrees. Then the size of the reflex angle A is 270 degrees. Now let's see how we can draw the reflex angle. Draw the reflex angle 220 degrees. We know that most of our protractors can only measure maximum 180 degrees, and the reflex angle is greater than 180 degrees. So how can I draw such type of angles? First, let's see the steps. We are going to subtract the size of the reflex angle from 360 degrees. So first step, before you draw, you are going to calculate. I'm going to subtract the size of the reflex angle I want to draw from the 360. 360 minus 220 equals 140 degrees. Next step, I'm going to draw this angle, the 140 degrees, which is the opposite angle for the reflex angle. So first, second, I'm going to draw this angle, which is the opposite angle. So I will start by drawing the 140 degrees this way. So this is the 140 degrees angle. So where is the reflex then? Then I will identify the reflex angle here, and it must be 220 degrees, because as we know, both of them must add up to 360. So if I draw the opposite angle of the reflex angle, it means I already drew the reflex angle on the opposite side. Is this clear? So when we draw the opposite angle, and then we identify or we label the reflex angle as the opposite angle. Now, how to measure the reflex angle? What do you think? If I have a reflex angle and I want to measure, not to draw, I will just measure using the protractor. How can I measure an angle which is bigger than my protractor? What do you think? Same idea exactly. I will not measure the reflex angle itself. I'm going to measure the angle opposite to it. So the first step, I'm going to measure the size of the opposite angle. In this case, as you can see, it is an acute angle. So after we measure this acute angle, for example, it will be 70 degrees. Then I will calculate the reflex angle. So I will subtract it from the 360 degrees to get the size of the reflex angle. So 360 degrees minus the 70 equals 290 degrees, which means the size of the reflex angle. At the end, don't forget to label the reflex angle with its size exactly. This is the end of our lesson today. Thank you for watching and see you soon.